Hi everybody, and this is my first Facebook Live by myself. Unfortunately, Dav can't be here this evening, and it's been a bit of a crazy summer. I don't know if everybody else feels the same, but it certainly has been a bit crazy with juggling childcare and work. I've got a little helper in here this evening. I don't know if she's going to make an appearance or not. We'll have to see. There she is. There she is.
My name's Kiva.
This is Kiva. She is the chairperson of the Emerald Group. She keeps us all in check here and has been doing some puzzles and things, entertaining herself while I've been working, which is great, isn't it? She's a very, very good, very, very resilient child. I am teaching her resilience from an early age. But anyway, Dav's here. Hi, Dav. I'm glad that you could be here online. And yeah, I'm flying solo this evening. I'm a little bit nervous, but as I say, I do have my my mascot here to keep me company and to hopefully keep me in check and keep me on time, huh? So today, what we were going to talk about was data collaboration. And this is the first of a two-part Facebook Live on data. So we're going to do data collaboration today, and then next month we're going to do data management and security. And I will have my partner in crime back for that. I will have Dav back for data management and data security next month. But data, people think it's a boring thing. I think I love data. I am a bit of a geek. I've got my geek glasses on today for you especially, but data it's so powerful and it's so important. And I guess I wanted to perhaps tell you a little bit about myself and my personal story to illustrate how I came into technology and why I think data is so important. So I started life with an English literature degree from Oxford University, as luck would have it, which is a great place to start life, but not necessarily if you want to go into a technology career. And I went to work for a publishing company, and while I was at that publishing company, we took our magazine online. Now, we produced a commercial property report, a commercial property magazine that was bought by developers, it was bought by investors, it was bought by companies that specialise in construction projects or relocation projects or any of those sorts of things. So it's people that were interested in any kind of commercial property transaction or commercial property development that was going on in their area. And we covered the whole of the UK, so we split the UK into regions. So this was, as I said, it was a commercial property magazine. It was a hard copy magazine that went out to our subscribers once a month. And in 2005, the managing director decided that he wanted to take the magazine online. And not only did he want to take it online, he didn't want to just sort of reproduce it online in a digital format. What he wanted is to allow our subscribers better access to the information that they might want to find. So, for example, if there was a commercial property application on the Trident Park in Leamington that someone was looking at this month that they were particularly interested in, they would be able to go back on the online version and search through other planning applications or development work or relocations that had gone on the Trident Park, for example. So it's really important that we looked at data and the kind of data that our customers would want to be able to access. And that's really when I got turned on by technology because I learned how to code. I learned HTML to do the user interface, and I learned a database language called SQL to do the back end and to help the project team with the back end. But what really excited me, more than learning how to code, because learning how to code is great, and obviously it's a great skill to have, but more than that, what excited me was the idea of what you could do with the data. So no longer did we have a flat magazine, we had something that could be pivoted, that could be manipulated, depending on what the user the subscriber at the other end wanted to have access to. So did they want to have access to all the projects that Emerald Developments had done, or did they want to have access to all the projects that were in a certain area? Hi, Gary. I'm flying solo today. I do have my lucky mascot. You've missed her. She is over in one of the chairs having a little sing. But yeah, she's been. I don't think Stacey's around, but she's been going through the tiny text books. I'm finding those very, very useful. The stash of tiny text puzzle books that I've got in the Emerald office. I think I might start an Emerald Crash. Maybe perhaps that might be something good to think about. But we're talking about data. Gary, I'm telling everybody what a geek I am and how much I love data and where my love of data came from. So we've got to the end of that, really, where I'm talking about my time at my publishing company, the publishing company I worked for, and how we looked at data and how we could manipulate data. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Emerald Crush. Exactly. So yeah, how we could manipulate data so that the end user, the subscriber, could get what they wanted. So we hear a lot about data now. We hear a lot about big data. We hear a lot about data collaboration, which is what this Facebook Live is about. But really, data collaboration is not a difficult concept. It's about working with people across your organisation or your business, and all of you having access to the information that you need, when you need it, where you need it, and how you need it. So we do a lot of this already. Particularly, people like you, Gary, who work with a lot of different people, who work with a lot of different digital media. You will look at. I've got my friend Catherine here. My friend Catherine from Oxford University, which I was just talking about in my Facebook Live. So hi, Catherine. I've been talking about data and what a geek I am about data and where that came from. And now moving on really to talking about how people can make best use of data. So I was saying that somebody like Gary, who's joined us, he works on his own, but he works in partnership with lots of different people. So there's a real drive there that he needs to share his data. Kiva, do you want to come and make an appearance? I've got a little girl talking to herself. She's reading a book over there, talking to herself. But yeah, so data when you're working in partnership with people is really, really important, and when you're working in an organisation is really, really important, and the flow of data. And I've got my sister. Wow, my first solo Facebook Live, and I am super popular. Here she is, chairperson of Emerald, who keeps us all organised and sorted. A bit warm. So, yeah, you've been doing some puzzle books, haven't you? Yeah. You're a bit warm up here. Yeah. Fascinated by seeing herself on camera. Right, I'm talking about data. So, we will get there.
Who says data?
Data, exactly. So, when you're working in any organisation, you need to look at data and you need to look at how data flows through it. Yeah, exactly. Kiva is the star of Emerald. Gary, you are very right. You are very right in that. And actually, it's good that Hannah's joined, because she would, if she were here, would be able to give you a very good example of how data needs to flow through an organisation. Because Hannah works for Emerald remotely, so she works down in Portsmouth, and she runs the mobile division. So she runs our communications division, and that means negotiating with. All right, yeah. See you later. That's everyone leaving for the day.
That's Guy.
That's Guy leaving for the day.
Stinky Guy.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that. We'll have to tag him in this afterwards. So back to Hannah. Hannah runs the mobile division, and as I said, she works remotely. So she needs to know that everybody has access to the information that they need at any given point in time, and when they need to access it. So we use different systems, actually, and I think that's one of the great things about Emerald, is that we are completely independent, and we look at lots of different products and how they will work best for any business, and will fit them accordingly. So we work on the mobile side. We work with a range of different systems. So we use a SharePoint system. We also use Dynamics, so they're two Microsoft products. We also use our own system called Emerald Cloud, which is hosted in our data center in Northampton. We use a mobile device forms called GoForms, and we use a back-end data system called DocuWare. So that sounds very complicated, but actually it's not, in the sense of what we have done is looked very much at the flow of data through the organisation, and we have matched the right product to the right stage in the process. So really, that's what I'm advising you to do, either for yourself, or if you want to come and have a chat with Emerald about that, then obviously we're more than happy to talk to you. Oh, my camera's slipping. We're more than happy to talk to you. So basically what we will produce, if you want to come and have a chat with us about data in your organisation, is something that looks like this. I love these. You probably think it looks awful and yeah, not exciting at all. There's no pretty pictures on there. I'll get Kiva to draw something exciting on it. But this is about the flow of data through an organisation. So what you'll have is external entities. So they are people who have data, who provide you with data. So they might be your customers, they might be your suppliers, they might be your internal teams. And then you've got the flow of data, so the process in which that the data is collected. And then here you've got the process that might need to follow on from that. So we've got here things like checking stock levels. Sorry, you can't see that. Checking stock levels, ordering new stock, etc. And then you've got another set of data flow. And then here what you've got is your data stores, your points of collection. But also crucially here as well, what you've got is you're getting data out. Because input is very important, data input, however that is that you're collecting your data from your customers, or whether it's orders, whether it's surveys. Oh, I've got Mark here. Hi, Mark. I hope you're. I don't know if this is going to be interesting for you. I'm sure there's lots more exciting stuff that Harry could be telling us about his latest karting adventures. Mark, we sponsor Mark's son Harry. Of Harry Graham Racing, who races in the Easy Kart Championships and is doing amazingly well, amazingly well. And I love his car because it's all Emerald branded and it's all green and it's really good. Take a look at Harry Graham Racing on Facebook and on Twitter. Mark and Lucy, Harry's mum, run the social media for Harry, and it's absolutely brilliant. Really good. But yeah, so we're talking about data and obviously the flow of data through an organisation, and then you've got your data flow diagram. So you can either do this yourself. It's really not that difficult. I'd be more than happy to sit with you, have a coffee and have a chat about data and help you put one of these together. Or if you do want to use Emerald more professionally to put it together and to put the solution together afterwards, obviously we're happy to do that as well. That won't be for the price of a coffee, though. It'll probably be a little bit more than that. But yeah, so you're looking at your data and you've done your data flow. And then you need to have a think about what products are right for you. And so, as I said, I've told you, we use, I think 6 different systems that I said. And that probably seems like we're overcomplicating it. But actually, by having all that, by having that bespoke design of the process that maps the process and using the right products in the right places, we make it very simple for the end user, whoever that might be. So whether that is Hannah and her team, or whether that is our customers, or whether that is our suppliers. It's about making the technology do the hard work. Yes, certainly, Gary. Sorry, Gary's asking if I could post a picture of this on the comments so you can see it better afterwards. Absolutely, Gary, I will do that, and maybe a bit of explanation about what the different things are. But yeah, absolutely, no problem with that. And I guess this seems a little bit dull data, but actually it is really important and it's really exciting. And if you're like Gary and you're working in the world of social media, some of the data that you can get back from social media No problem, Gary. Some of the data that you can get back from social media, in terms of your Facebook insights or your Twitter reach and all those sorts of things are really, really important to think about how that might flow through your organisation and how you might put together reports and things for your customers to be able to see some of the work that you're doing on the social media side. So, data can be really exciting. It can be really beneficial for your customers in particular to be able to see some of that data and have access to some of that data. And one of the things about things like SharePoint, for example, is that you can create a intranet for your customers. So you can create a kind of secure website where your customers and you can add information and access information. So you might put, you've just done a really good social media campaign on Facebook and you want to put it on your customers' private interface so that they can see the stats, and then they will allow access to the people within their own organisation who can access that at their own time. There you go. So Gary always does a monthly report focusing on the data from social media. And maybe you email that at the moment, I don't know. And you might want to look at how you could make that a bit more interactive with the customer and how maybe you could put it on its own kind of intranet, secure web area for your customers. Maybe you do that already, Gary. Maybe you might be a really good case study for me to use on the data side of things. So yeah, the first thing to do when you're thinking about data collaboration, whether it's with other members of your team or whether it's with other businesses that you work with, you need to think about your data flow first of all. So mapping your data flow, and you don't have to do it as a data flow diagram. You could literally just do it with your boxes and your arrows, so you know where your data is going. And then you need to think about some other things. So you need to think about who needs access to the data. So we talked about, internal members of the team, but also suppliers and customers accessing that data. So that's really important. Who needs access and how would they want to access? Important things when you're thinking about data collaboration is documents and whether people need to be editing them at the same time. Because that is becoming more and more common, this kind of real-time editing, and the software that you choose and the product that you choose is going to be very much dependent on that, whether you need that real-time editing, because that's a difficult thing to get right. I'll be brutally honest with you, because it depends. Oh, she's back. It depends. I have to show you actually at the end the picture that we've got on our white wall that Kiva's drawn. It's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, when you're thinking about real-time editing, that's very difficult to get right because it depends on the internet access that you've got at the time that you are editing the document. So if I'm editing it here in the Emerald office, brilliant. I've got great internet access, haven't I? She told me to be quiet. Told me to stop talking. I've got great internet access here. But people are watching, people are watching this, you. Go and draw me another picture and then we can go and see it at the end. Being told to shut up. Yeah, what does Kiva think? Clearly she doesn't like it, Gary. Gary's just asked... I'm talking, Dylan. Gary's just asked, what does Kiva think of data and editing? And I have to say, clearly, not a lot right now, because she's telling me to be quiet. She is a creative, she's not a geek like me. She's an artist. And I have a picture that she's painted on my wall, which is just amazing. I mean, I was never creative in that way at all. Even at a young age, my pictures were always awful. And, she is absolutely amazing. Her art is wonderful. So yeah, I have to admit that she's probably not going to follow in my footsteps, and she's probably going to be much more creative and exciting than me. But hey ho, we all need data and editing still, Gary. We all need data and editing and infrastructure. But yeah, so real-time editing, it's difficult to get right, basically, is my long-winded way of telling you it, because it depends on the internet connection that you've got. So that brings me on to my next point, which is thinking about where people need to have access. So is it that they need to have access in an office, which has got great internet connection? Is it that they need to have access at home, where perhaps it's not so great? Is it that they need to have access on their mobile devices, obviously, which is dependent on the mobile network? So that's an important thing to think about. Because if you're thinking about where they're going to access it, you need to think about whether they need internet access or not, because you can do some offline. You can work offline with these programs again. Emerald Cloud is a good example of that. You can work offline on that. Yeah, she is. I think that's Dav there. She is going to be an artistic geek. She is indeed. She is indeed. But really interesting with on that. Just a little aside. When we do the Tiny Text classes, and Stacey will back me up on this, we very much have a kind of split of the kind of logical thinkers and the creative thinkers. So the logical thinkers do the robot building and they do the coding and they very much like that. And the creative thinkers like the puzzle books that Stacey brings. So the Osborne puzzle books. Go and get us a puzzle book to show. Go and get one of the puzzle. Want to go and get one of the puzzle books we play. So yeah.
I'm doing a game with them.
Oh, go and have a look at it. Go and bring it for me. The more creative thinkers, as I said, will look at the puzzle books and things like that. So it's really interesting that we do have a preference of which side. I mean, we have both sides of our brain, but we do have a preference of which side that we use. That's very interesting. So this is coding for beginners. That's not a good example. Bring me the one that you were just working on just a minute ago. But you were just working on one and drawing on it. Go and bring me that one. Thank you, darling. So yeah, I think I've probably totally gatecrashed data. I need you back, Dav. I'm clearly not very good at this on my own. But yeah, think about what infrastructure you need and think about how much control you want. That's very important. So how much control do you want as an administrator on permissions, on who accesses what, and how they access it, and who can edit and who can't edit, etc. I've got Lara joining. Hi, Lara. It's Auntie Lara's watching us. She's there, look. Lara Farrell joined, you see? So say hi to Auntie Lara.
Hi, Auntie Lara.
Hi, Auntie Lara. Right, I'm going to recap data in a minute, but I'm just going to quickly tell you about some of these books that Stacey sells as part of Osborne. And so this is a Telling the Time book. And again, it's all about problem solving. And it's, Auntie Lara says, hi, sweetheart. You see, she writes the message there. You can't see that she's watching, but she's watching. Okay? So this is the Telling the Time book. And as you can see, you've got the Kiva's been drawing in the time. Draw the hands on the watch. Oh, that's it, to show this, to show the time that's on the clock. You can't really see it, but yeah, the point that I'm trying to make is that Gary wants to join Tiny Text. Absolutely, yeah, no problem. The next one that we organise, definitely, because it's about what they call computational thinking, which sounds like a really geeky thing, but actually isn't. It's about the problem-solving mindset. It's about the digital mindset. Lara says that Kiva and Mummy are doing very well. Thank you. I'm totally winging this. I don't have Dav who keeps me on track. So yeah, I need a bit of guidance on this, I think. Oh, and Gary wants to join a Facebook Live. Absolutely, Gary. You can bring structure as well to my Facebook Live. Oh, and we've got Liz now as well. Now, Liz is from a customer of ours, Countrywide, and so she's joined us. So, hi, Liz. I think you might be on holiday. Are you on holiday at the moment? Yeah, coming to tune into the Facebook Live. So actually, I'm pretty much at the end of what I was going to say, with quite a few distractions, as you will have noticed from our lovely chairwoman. But yeah, just to remember, data is very important. Don't neglect it, and don't think that because you're in a more creative company that it's not crucial for you. And it is all about how your customers and how your suppliers and how your team can get access to your data. Dav's giving me a time check. Isn't she amazing? I've been gabbling for 23 minutes. Would you believe? Would you believe? Oh, that's Liz is saying she's back at work and she's seen Kiva helping and had to join in. I don't think she's helping, Liz. She keeps telling me to be quiet. I don't think she's very excited about data. So, this is what happens. Is it time for me to stop? Yeah? She doesn't even want me to be seen now. Right, what I'm going to do... Hang on, baby girl. Let me just finish. What I'm going to do is put this data, the data flow diagram in the comments, as Gary has asked, and I will also put my list of things that you need to think about in the comments, so that hopefully, although this has been Car Crash TV, they say that's good though, don't they? Car Crash TV. Although this has been a bit hit and miss in terms of what we talked about, you will be able to take some points away. So thank you very much to everybody for sticking with it and listening to me talk about data in a very unusual way. I don't think there are any other Facebook Lives on data collaboration that will be quite as interesting and varied as this one. Thank you very much, everybody. And normal service will resume next month, maybe with the guest star Gary. You know, maybe Gary could join us then as well. So brilliant. Thank you very much. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Dad, for your kind comments. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye.